Perikatan Nasional leaders attended a pre-council meeting at Muhyiddin Yassin's residence last night. However, past President Abdul Hadi Awang was unable to attend. Following this, PAS has shared its views on the ongoing leadership issues within PN. Stay tuned for their response. Hadi's political secretary was among those who commented on the meeting. He conveyed Hadi's views, saying that PAS insists all issues regarding the PN leadership be resolved in accordance with the coalition's constitution.
PAS is looking forward to resolving all Perikatan Nasional leadership issues in a full council meeting. This came after Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin held a pre-council discussion at his residence in Kuala Lumpur last night, with all presidents of PN component parties in attendance except PAS. PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang's political secretary Syahir Sulaiman said the party's chief could not attend last night's meeting due to a last-minute change to his schedule. However, he said the PAS president has delivered his views through a letter to his PN counterparts. He added that they have yet to receive any notification regarding the outcome of this pre-council meeting and are waiting for an invitation to the full council meeting to resolve all issues. Syahir stressed that PAS wants everything to be in order and managed according to the legitimate constitution and rules. In a statement, he said that Hadi and PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man have stressed that PAS wants PN to be strengthened. Previously, PAS had rejected Muhyiddin's proposal to abolish the position of PN chairperson. This detail has been indirectly confirmed by PAS Secretary General Takyuddin Hassan, who cited the content of Hadi's letter during a press conference in Parliament yesterday. Takyuddin had said that PAS wants PN structure to remain as provided for in the Constitution, as action could be taken by the authorities, especially the ROS, if it were changed.
Meanwhile, past spiritual leader Hashim Jasin was asked about his comments on the tensions between Bersatu and his party. This was what he had to say about the matter.
Past spiritual leader Hashim Jasin has suggested that the party consider contesting the next general election independently if the ongoing dispute over Perikatan Nasional's leadership is not resolved soon. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Hashim said such a move would likely receive strong support from past grassroots members, particularly in Perlis. If each party remains stubborn and the issue is not resolved, it is better to contest solo, he said. He added that they could contest first and then negotiate to form a government based on the election results. He stressed that G16 is approaching, so if they can settle the issue early, it would be good. Hashim said this when asked to comment on recent developments highlighting tensions between PAS and Bersatu, particularly over the appointment of a new PN chairperson. This was following Muhyiddin's resignation from the post, effective January 1st. When asked about the PAS candidate for the PN chairperson position, Hashim declined to comment, saying the matter will be decided by the party's central committee. Muhyiddin's resignation came amid a crisis in the Perlis state government, which had heightened tensions between PAS and Bersatu. However, his resignation as PN chief has eased tempers and paved the way for PAS to assume leadership of the coalition. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Still on the topic, MIPP's president was one of those who had attended the meeting. He told reporters last night that all is well in PN.
Malaysian Indian People's Party President P. Punitan has insisted that Perikatan Nasional remains stable. This comes amid speculation of an internal rift within the opposition coalition following Muhyiddin Yassin's resignation as PN chief on January 1st. Speaking to reporters after a nearly 3-hour closed-door pre-council meeting involving top PN leaders at Muhyiddin's residence in Bukit Damansara last night, Punitan said that they were all in good spirits. He said the meeting focused on discussions about PN's direction and that the coalition would be meeting PAS next. Punitan stressed that there was nothing amiss within PN and said the coalition was prepared to face the 16th general election. He said differences of opinion are normal in politics, just like among siblings, but they remain good friends. However, no top PAS leaders were seen at the meeting. Also absent was Bersatu Deputy President Hamzah Zainuddin, who had told the press yesterday that he had not been invited. Among those present at the meeting included Gerakan President Dominic Lau, MIPP Deputy President S. Subramaniam, Bersatu Vice President Ahmad Faisal Azumu, and Gerakan Information Chief Wendy Subramaniam.
Pressure on Muhyiddin to step down as his party's president has also intensified, with two SAC leaders citing the leaked correspondence between him and Hadi as additional reasons for his resignation.
Calls for Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin to step down have intensified following the leak of correspondence between him and past President Abdul Hadi Awang. Indra Makota MP Saifuddin Abdullah, who was sacked from Bersatu, said Hadi's response to Muhyiddin's letter has become an added reason for the former Prime Minister to resign as party president. Commenting on the issue yesterday, Saifuddin said Muhyiddin's letter to the presidents of other Perikatan Nasional component parties, which described his meeting with Hadi, contained matters that were not actually discussed. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, Saifuddin said this prompted the past president to issue a clarification. While the subject of the discussion itself was not a secret, he said the letter was about a debate over how PN should be managed and about how Muhyiddin had allegedly misled people. He added that this adds to the reasons why he should step down. Meanwhile, Tasik Gulugur MP Wan Saiful Wanjan, who was also sacked from Bersatu, questioned whether Muhyiddin had lied in his January 27 letter to Hadi and other PN component party presidents. Wan Saiful said Hadi's denial was highly significant, raising questions on whether Muhyiddin has become so desperate that he is willing to fabricate stories to cling to power. If Muhyiddin was found to have lied, Wan Saiful said further questions could also be raised about his past statements to Bersatu's Supreme Council. He added that Muhyiddin should resign if he truly cares about preserving the party's image. Separately, Machang MP Wan Ahmad Faisal Wan Ahmad Kamal, who has been suspended from Bersatu, warned that Muhyiddin's actions could damage PN's public image and strain relations with its component parties, particularly PAS. He said Muhyiddin must take moral responsibility to restore public confidence in Bersatu and PN for the sake of the coalition and its partners and step down. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe.
Rafizi Ramli has commented on the investigation into the syringe attack on his son. This came following reports on the response by Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail on the matter.
Rafizi Ramli said he would personally write to the government and the authorities to request that investigations into the attack on his son be discontinued if the case reaches a dead end. In a video posted on his Facebook account, he said he will wait a little longer for progress.
Jadi nanti saya akan tunggu lagi. Kalau dirasakan siasatan ni tak ke mana, saya sendiri akan tulis surat kepada Perdana Menteri, Menteri Dalam Negeri dan PDRM untuk mengusulkan supaya siasatan ini dihentikan dan NFA-kanlah saja kes ni. Jangan nak buang masa anggota polis yang kat bawah yang hanya menurut perintah. Lagipun, Perdana Menteri juga yang beria-ia dulu keluar kenyataan cepat-cepat suruh siasatan dibuat secara telus. Kalau dah lebih 6 bulan tapi tak ke mana, malulah PMX. Jadi baik saya yang volunteer suruh tutup saja siasatan untuk jaga air muka PMX.
He added that his family had come to terms with the incident, noting that it was his son who was directly affected and that he did not expect others to fully understand his feelings. He said he also understood how the system works, adding that without real power, the process of identifying the mastermind behind such a case could take a long time. Rafizi stressed that it was not his child who needed to protect a public reputation, but those in positions of power who would eventually have to answer to the people.
Azalina said all MPs must support the proposal for a prime ministerial term limit, warning that rejecting it would show they don't see it as important.
Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Azalina Othman Syed, believes that MPs who refuse to support Putrajaya's proposal to impose term limits on the Prime Minister should be held accountable by their voters. She told reporters after a town hall session yesterday that it is imperative for lawmakers to support the reform proposal. This is as it requires a 2/3 majority to be passed by the Dewan Rakyat. She said if there are MPs who reject this constitutional amendment, it shows that they do not believe this is something important. She said perhaps the MPs should explain themselves to the voters who choose them, explain why they do not want to put a cap on the Prime Minister's power. The town hall session was held to gather feedback from civil societies and academicians on the reform initiative, which Putrajaya aims to table by the next parliament session. The reform is among 4 to be enacted this year as the Madani administration attempts to deliver on its electoral promises. The proposal would require an amendment to the federal constitution.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.